If you struggle to find the discipline or the motivation to stick to something long enough to actually lose weight, or you're just not losing weight or you're getting a bit fatter, sleep could be the reason why. And in this video, I'm going to go through everything from supplements to body temperature to nervous system regulation down to the 10-3-2-1 rule. And if you're someone that says, but look, I sleep fine, it's okay, I guarantee you can add 10% to it. And that extra 10% effectiveness in terms of your quality of sleep, or 10% in terms of the quantity of sleep, could be the difference between you getting unfat and staying the same weight that you are. Or it could be the difference between living a few extra years, and who doesn't want that? So to start off with, we're going to go through body temperature. In order to fall asleep, I actually didn't mention, if you do struggle to sleep, the reason that it affects you is a poor quality of sleep, or a reduction in quality of sleep, is going to lead to metabolism problems, energy problems, and issues with hunger. Your hunger hormone rises, and the hormone that makes you feel full drops. So not only are you hungrier, but you actually struggle to stay full when you do eat. You're fighting an uphill battle. So life's better when we sleep better. Let's get into it. First off is body temperature. With body temperature, if in order for you to fall asleep, your body has to drop by 2 degrees. And we can manipulate this to make sure you fall asleep a bit quicker. And how we do that is by getting a hot shower or a hot bath. By doing this, you raise your body temperature. And when the body temperature raises, it naturally has to come back down again. So if you're someone that struggles to actually drift off, simply getting a shower or a hot bath can reduce that time that it takes you to fall asleep. Nothing worse than rolling around in bed thinking about that weird thing you said 10 years ago. This can help stop that. Next up, we're going to go through supplements. Wouldn't be my first thing that I would change. I would get into the actual sleep hygiene, which we'll get into shortly. But I know a lot of people are interested in supplements that can help. The main one I found benefit from, the main two I found benefit from, is L-theanine. And basically it's helped me with, if you ever have a chatterbox of a brain that just won't shut up, that just replays your day over and over again, and you just can't seem to switch it off, and it's noisy and you can't fall asleep, L-theanine is like putting the volume down low on your brain. Just turns all the noise off. And I find a massive benefit from that. The second one is magnesium. Now, I've took so many different forms of magnesium and never really noticed the difference. If you ever take a supplement and you're like, my life would be no different if I didn't take this, the only brand that I have actually seen benefit from, and I only got it because there was a bundle deal on this particular company, so it came with it, was Magnesium 3-in-1 from Nutrition Geeks. Worth its weight in gold, and I notice a massive dip in quality of sleep and how much I wake up through the night if I don't have 2 of those 1 hour before bed. Next up, we're going to get into nervous system regulation. So with nervous system regulation, we've 2 modes in the nervous system. We've fight or flight, and we've rest and digest. So we've got our parasympathetic and our sympathetic system, other way around. If you spend too much time in fight or flight mode, that's when your all systems go. That's when your brain is thinking heavy. That's when you're tackling to-do lists. That's when you're experiencing stress. If you spend too much time in fight or flight mode, the quality of your sleep later at night will not be good. We want to spend a good bit of time, even throughout the day, in rest and digest mode. How we do that is through a couple of different measures, and it's linked to your HRV. So if you haven't heard of HRV, it's your heart rate variability. And your HRV, the higher it is, the more time you spend in rest and digest, and the lower it is, the more time you spend in fight or flight mode. So we want to get that as high as possible to ensure a good quality sleep. There's a few things that can help with it, like in terms of supplements, you've got CBD. And in terms of foods or liquids, you've got chamomile tea or peppermint tea. Any type of herbal tea has been shown to have a bit of a calming effect on the nervous system, and therefore up your HRV. The other one, which I would swear by and religiously do, is breath work and breathing. And when I first heard about this, I thought, I'm not sitting doing this and making hum sounds, and it's just not that at all. You're training your brain to quiet the mind for 5 to 10 minutes a day. And the difference that makes when you just have never done it before is insane. They did studies, and in this one particular study, the size of the area in the brain that's responsible for gratitude and contentment actually grew, and the size of the brain that's responsible for worry and stress and fear actually decreased in size. So it's been shown to physically change your brain structure. Think of it like gym for your brain, bicep curls for your brain, and who doesn't want a big pumped up brain, right? Doing that throughout the day, first thing in the morning, and then getting a chamomile tea maybe an hour before bed does wonders. Maybe 5 minutes of breathing before bed as well. Wonders for the quality of your sleep. Next up, we've got some gadgets and gizmos. Gadgets and gizmos include, my main ones are earplugs and eye masks. Earplugs because my fiance and dog both snore quite loud, and when you go through a sleep stage, a sleep cycle, there is a wakening part of that cycle, so it's very normal and healthy to wake up in the middle of the night with your sleep. But when that happens, you usually don't recognize it. You're not conscious of it. You're not conscious that you're going through the wake cycle part of the sleep stages. And if your brain or your eyes can make out some objects in the room, you're going to be conscious, you're going to be awake. It's going to be hard to get back into that mode of sleep. And we have pretty much blackout blinds. The room is pitch black, but I can still faintly make out the outline of the TV. I can still faintly see the outline of the cupboard and the wardrobe. And so there's something there for my brain to recognize. Having a sleep mask just means it's completely dark and I can't see a thing, and I go through the stages effectively. With the earplugs, they can be quite uncomfortable, but you just have to find the right brand. I use one from Tesco. You can roll it up and squish it into your ear. It's fine. It doesn't dig into your side if you're a side sleeper. If you're using an eye mask, I've used ones with the elastic band, and they just dig into the back of your head. They're not that comfortable. I end up pulling them off in the middle of the night. I'd recommend Snoozy from Tesco. Really good, wraps around your whole head like a pillow and is extremely comfortable. Next up, we have the 10-3-2-1 rule. So this is a bit of a system to follow to ensure you have a good night's sleep. The 10 in the rule stands for 10 hours before bed, no caffeine. And most people will say, oh, but I can have a coffee at 6 o'clock at night and I still fall asleep fine. I can bring a Monster to bed with me and still fall asleep fine. And you might be able to, but the quality of that sleep won't be as good as it could have been had you let some time pass for the caffeine to leave the system. Caffeine has a half-life of 10 hours, and so it'll stay in your system. Half of it is still there in your system later at night, and it just affects the quality of the sleep, of the deep sleep that you could get. The 3 in the rule is for food. 3 hours before bed, ideally no big meals. And I still have like a slice of toast or maybe a bagel thin before bed, but I wouldn't have a big meal. My last big meal is always 3-ish hours before I sleep. If you eat a big meal any closer than that to bedtime, a lot of blood's going to the digestive system and your overall system is still working trying to digest and break down food, which takes away from the quality of sleep you'll get. The 2 in the rule stands for, I have to remember this now, liquids. Simple one, this 2 hours before bed, no liquids. I still have a cup of tea, like a peppermint tea or chamomile tea before bed, but I wouldn't have a big glass of water or a big pint of Coke or something like that. The reason is it just stops you from having to get up in the middle of the night to go to the toilet. 1 hour before bed, we want to block all screens, phones, iPads, TVs, laptops. Now this is a tough one, but the blue light that's emitted from your screens blocks melatonin production, and basically the more melatonin production you have in the body and the more that's built up coming towards bedtime, the better your quality of sleep will be. And if you're using phones or TVs late at night, what happens is your melatonin isn't producing at the level that it could be and your sleep quality is a bit disrupted. It also just keeps your brain active. You're thinking about things, you're reacting to a post, you're laughing at something, you're feeling stressed at something, you're feeling angry at something in a moment where you should be chilling out and relaxing. If this is a bit of a struggle for you, I can Opal is an amazing app that blocks your phone at a certain time of night. You can still get text messages and phone calls, but all social media platforms are inaccessible. If you do not want to download Opal, I recommend this to people all the time and they go, yeah, I'll do that, and they just don't do it. Baffles me why you wouldn't want to have a bit less time on your phone and a bit more sleep at night time. But if you're not up for that and you like to watch TV in bed, you maybe like to fall asleep with the TV on, some red light glasses, red light blocking glasses, light blocker glasses, blue light blocking glasses, there we go. These fucking YouTube videos are tough, like speaking for 10 full minutes. Blue light blocking glasses, basically you wear them 2 hours, 1 hour before bed, and when you're watching TV, the blue light that is emitted through the screen is blocked and changed to red light, and therefore it doesn't affect melatonin production. Read the reviews, you can get them on Amazon. A lot of them say that they're blue light blocking glasses, but they're not really, so just be careful with which ones you actually get. The next point is make a beeline for sunlight as early as possible in the day. Quicker you get sunlight in your eyes, the quicker that melatonin starts producing in the body, so you'll have more built up, and the quicker or the more stabilized your circadian rhythm will be, your body clock. And if you're ever someone that wakes up in the middle of the night and you just don't know why, it seems to be the same time each night, and you're like, why do I keep waking up? Why can't I just sleep through the night? Sometimes it can be down to the way that you've been breathing. If you breathe heavily through your mouth, sometimes the brain doesn't get enough oxygen and it panics and wakes up, One thing that can, or two things that can fix this, is mouth tape and nose tape. Nose tape just dilates the nostrils a wee bit and encourages you to take more oxygen in through the nose. Mouth tape sellotapes your mouth shut, so you're forced to breathe through your nose. I bought it like a year ago, and it's still sitting downstairs. I'm afraid to actually try it. I just don't like the idea of having an airway closed when I sleep. But my girlfriend uses it, and she says that she swears by it. She always gets a great night's sleep when she uses it, and it stops her snoring too. So if you have a partner that snores, sellotape their mouth shut. It is actually possible. So there's loads of tips there, tons. Literally just pick one or two from this video that you're going to try. Give it a go. If it's for you, great. If it's not for you, change it around. And what you'll end up with is this big mad wind down routine. It becomes natural, and I know that if I do these steps that I've listed in this video, my sleep quality is going to be great, and therefore the following day will be great. I'll have less hunger, I'll have more energy. It'll be the difference between me deciding on lunchtime, should I go for a walk or should I just sit here on my phone? That extra wee oomph in my step because I've had a good night's sleep leads to more steps, it leads to better gym sessions, and overall a better mood. I'm a happier, healthier, more sound person to be around. I hope this video helped in some sort of way. If I have a full sleep cheat sheet on my Instagram, I'll put the link in the description below. If I forgot to put the link in the description below, please follow Luke Rowe _. Rowe is ROE, and I will send it across. Just say sleep cheat in the DMs, and I will send it across. And hopefully this helped.